loud. I'm going to do more. I'm going to go live on Facebook. Well, welcome everyone to our special Facebook Live event. I'm trying something new today using Zoom to do a Facebook Live because I wanted to take you through our Breakthrough to Success program, which is starting today. And it is a very powerful program that that God has enabled us to put together. So I wanted to take some time to share with you and start and tell you about why and the background to this program and why we have put it together. One of the privileges I have is that every Tuesday morning I meet with key intercessors from who are leaders of various prayer networks around the nation, and we get together to discern what's on the Father's heart. And about 3 weeks ago now, the whole meeting was about the fact that we felt that across the nation that we were seeing a restricting of resources, that the enemy was coming in and stopping resources from flowing to people, whether that be financial resources or people resources or whatever it is that people needed. And as we discussed it, we felt that there was different landmines or minefields that we needed to actually get through to see those resources released. And on that particular call, we didn't actually discern what those were. But as I went back to God, I said, God, what is going on here? What are the landmines that we need to access and to navigate in order to see these resources released? And it was interesting because over that next week, 4 very key areas came to light. One of those was removing spiritual blockages from our lives and healing the land and actually the whole area of sonship came to be. The other area was personal responsibility, that we actually need to step up and take personal responsibility for what we're doing. The third one was about hearing the voice of God clearly. And the fifth one was communication with others, because communication turns out to be the number one issue in organizations and in marriages as to why things are not going. It's because the key is we may have issues, but how do you actually communicate about those issues to others? And unless we know how to successfully communicate, the issue just blows up. So one of the great things is that I've started to share, I know this is not the first time we've talked about this Breakthrough to Success program. As we've been putting the program out there, I've been getting feedback from other people around it. And I want to share one of those feedbacks that I've got today. And this was an email I received from Bridget Wright, who heads up the Budrum House of Prayer, which is just a powerful house of prayer in our nation. And she said to me, Wes, you are very powerful and totally spot on. She said, this is a month of breakthrough. It's a month of deliverance. It's the Hebrew month of Nisan, where the people of Israel come out of bondage and slavery, lack and poverty into the promise for them. Isn't that powerful? Which is not only the land, but also to learn who Yahweh was, who their father was, and how to worship him. And really, that was very exciting to me, because I thought that's exactly what it is. This is a month of deliverance. This is a month of us stepping into what God has to go. And she goes on to say, so what you're sensing is so true. We're experiencing the enemy coming very strong against Yahweh's people for that exact reason. You said it. This is not a time to pull back, even if we are experiencing lack. Otherwise, we will come into an agreement with the enemy and, like Israel, be tempted to moan and complain and wish you're back in Egypt. And let me tell you, you don't want to go around Egypt stuck in the wilderness for another 40 years. Bridget went on to say that this is no ordinary breakthrough or deliverance either. I believe this will be a key for the next 3 years to sustain his people who really want to shift atmospheres and bring his kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. The heaviness, the battle, the hardship, it's all training. He is setting apart his people and making them holy, and he's doing a great work of deliverance if we will keep trusting in him and let him take us through the Red Sea, the cleansing, the healing, and the baptism, really. So the first Yahweh revealed to his people, the first name Yahweh revealed to his people when they complained of no water was not the God of miracles. It was Yahweh Rapha, God our healer. As he healed the waters for them to drink, he is doing the same for us today. So there you go. So it was very exciting to see that others are picking up this. Was exciting. Did you hear that? That this is a month of deliverance that is for the next 3 years. And uh, it was interesting. I was talking to a good friend yesterday, and he said, as I look back, he's seeing some significant breakthrough at the moment, but the breakthrough has come through those hard moments, through those times when we've been grumbling and complaining. It was the stuff that he learned then that is now putting into place. And that's what I'm sensing is happening too. See, all this is the why and the background to why we've put this program together. So hence to put this breakthrough to success program. So once God revealed those 4 different areas, I said, okay, God, who are the people that we need to talk to around the world that are key leaders, key thought leaders in this area of personal responsibility, listening to the voice of God, particularly in the marketplace. There are so many that talk about the voice of God, but it's more a ministry related thing. But what about when you've got contracts to sign? What about when you've got multi-million dollars at stake? Who is good in that area? And then the other area is communication. So this led me to contacting different people, and we've been able to put this series of 4 webinars together. So we've done it in webinar format because I wanted anyone anywhere around the world to be able to access these. And the other thing is that you can access them, you can join in and participate in the webinar, and particularly you'll have the ability to do a Q&A with these leaders, but also to hear from them and hear their heart. It's one thing to read their book, but I find that when you actually get to see them in person and talk to them and hear their heart, the books and things that they've written are really come alive. So we've put this series of 4 webinars together, and so who are they with? Well, the first one, the first one is today on April 11, and I'm doing that one. I'm talking about removing the spiritual blockages, and actually I'm going to talk tonight particularly about some things that I haven't touched on before in any of my teaching so far. We're going to cover some stuff. We're going to look at the 4 key areas of where there curses that come, but there's a 5th area, and this has been an unfolding revelation of the last 2 weeks. And let me say that as I've taken this revelation and put it into practice and worked with our current coaching clients, I have seen some breakthrough that is beyond what I could have ever imagined could happen, and in a short period of time. And it doesn't matter where they've been. Most of the time it's been in coffee shops, but God has showed up. So the first webinar is on removing the spiritual blockages, and I think it's key that we start there because it really prepares us for moving forward. The second one, which is on Wednesday morning, the 12th of April, our time, is from Kirsten Lundeen, and she's from QBQ, the question behind the question. And actually, she's prepared a video for us, so we're going to play that now so that you can hear. She talks about Tuesday, but that's Tuesday her time in the US. Isn't that great? And I trust that you really heard it hard there. Personal accountability being the foundation for what you need to look at. So going back to the third webinar is with Bob Bodine. Now, you may or may not have heard of Bob. He's written two books. One is called The Power of Who, which is actually very good for the fact that everybody that you need is right in your network right now. And he talks about how to access those people. So it's a very good book about networking. But end of last year, he released a book called Two Chairs, The Power of Two Chairs. One of the key things that I've noticed now, we've been helping business leaders since 2006 and stepping in and hearing the voice of God. And as I've been having a look about what's out there on hearing the voice of God, there's a lot of it is ministry related. So, and which is very key. And I get that because it's about hearing the voice of God for what's happening in the church situation, how to minister to people, all that kind of stuff. But what about when you're the CEO of a business, when you need to know what God's saying, because it's about whether you sign this contract or not. It's about whether you employ the right person or not. It's about whether you take on this product or not, whether you do this service or not. These are key things that actually, if you get it wrong, it really goes directly to your bottom line. How do we hear from God that actually improves our bottom line and takes us forward and sees those resources released? And Bob, when I read Two Chairs, I thought, you know what, this is real life stuff. He has a strategy that you will just blow you away, and I'm so looking forward to spending the time with him on the webinar, but also giving you the opportunity for a Q&A with him as well. So that's Bob Bodine. So Bob, let me put this in perspective. Bob is the #1 sports and entertainment recruiter in the USA. He is really up there, and just how I've connected with Bob and how we've got him to come on the webinar is just amazing. And it really was a confirmation to me that why we needed to put this program together as well. Okay, we've heard from Christian. You see me there. The last webinar is on communication, and with this, I've asked Paul and Jenny Nadiscu to come, and they lead the Kairos Leadership Academy. They're from the UK. Yeah, I had a powerful time with them on Saturday night as we were just talking through the webinar. Yes, it's going to be on communication, but you will hear particularly Paul's heart. Paul was a very top, high-flying corporate exec who really lost it, would be the best way to say it. And he had an encounter with God, and now he's in this process of helping people. He calls it the Great Commandment, the Great Commandment, and the Great Commission. He's going to talk about love. He's going to be talking about loving God. He's going to talk about loving others. He's going to talk about doing the work that God has called us to do. But he's going to talk about that in the context of communication, how to get communication right, how to get communication right in your key relationships, how to get key communication right with God, and how to build that and set that in place. Just as we were preparing this program, putting it together, I listened to a powerful podcast on Ziegler. And if you don't listen to Ziegler podcasts, I encourage you to do that. And Mark Trim there was talking about the fact that communication is the #1 problem that we're facing in families, or we're facing in corporate life, because you may have a problem, but you can't solve the problem unless you learn how to communicate about that problem with others. So Paul and Jenny will be coming on, and they'll be sharing some great insights and talking to about the Life Languages profile, to which you will get a complimentary thing on when you purchase the program as well. So they're the 4 different webinars, and then we're going to top it off by one-day retreat, and this will be held on May the 6th here in Brisbane. And because we're going to be learning so much during the month that we need to seal it with a one-day retreat. And during this one-day retreat, we'll be focusing on sonship. We'll be focusing on taking your relationship with God to the key level, a new level. There'll be 4 key scriptures that we'll be working through. It'll be a day of learning. We're going to do exercises. There'll be plenty of time for personal reflection. along with group discussions so that we can delve deeper into that. You'll be with others who we've journeyed through the whole month of this Breakthrough to Success program. And it's at a new location. We've chosen the Darling Point Special School, which is right on the bay here down at Manly. It'd be an opportunity for you to come together in a group environment, but to you to connect. You'll see the picture of a park there. There's beautiful parks that surround it, and you'll be by the bay as well. So you'll have that opportunity to sit there and reflect with God in nature, which I find very powerful, as well as taking that through. Well, when you sign up for the Breakthrough to Success program, this is we want this to have a long term. You know, going back to what Bridget said, it's she senses that this is a month of breakthrough, not just for this month, but for the next 3 years. So we've put together some other bonuses that you can, so that we can take this and see it. So one is the book QBQ by John Miller. This book has sold over 1 million copies. That tells you something. Like, if a bestseller is over 5,000 in Australia, what is 1 million copies sold? So the QBQ, the question behind the question, with John Miller. Kirsten is John's daughter. It's fascinating to me because a lot we're going to be talking about sonship. You know, it's the children, when they pick up the message, they take it much, much further than what their parents ever did. We're going to give you Bob Bodine's book on 2 chairs. So many testimonies and things in there. So many. Bob talks about the strategy, but he shows you how it works and how it unfolds. You'll be receiving a complementary life languages communication profile. This in itself is worth it. It's normally US $55 now. They've put the price up for that. It's a key profile. It's a profile like no others. And we're going to also be giving you access to the vault of all the powerful prayer strategies that we've given. And that's a lifetime membership. And we've put together an online community where we've stored it. It's not only the daily powerful prayer strategies I've been doing, but there's lots of other access and resources in there as well. So there's quite a lot of bonuses in there that you receive when you sign up for the program today. Well, I want to say to you, this program is for you. And I've put this picture up here because you've been searching for something. You've been searching for the answers to something. You may be, there'll be a couple of things. Like, one, you keep hitting a ceiling. You get to a certain level and you come back. You get to a certain level and come back. There may be some strange things that are going on. You know, one of the things, I seem to get called in when the businesses are totally shutting down or something's not happening, and we discern what's going on and what's going. You may be thinking, I'm doing my marketing, I'm building my relationships, I'm doing all these things, but why on earth is this not happening and not working? Well, that's what when we talk about removing spiritual blockages, I'll be talking about those kind of things and helping you to work through those. Personal responsibility is key. Removing blame, removing procrastination from your life. Hearing the voice of God, right? It is this is number one thing people say to me. How can I hear this? How do I know that it's God speaking? And when Bob comes on, you'll be hearing that. And then the whole area of communication. So, yes, we are aiming this at business leaders, CEOs, business owners, those in business positions. But it's open for everyone, because the key things they're doing affect every person in life. So whether you're a mum at home, a dad at home, whether you're an employee, whether you're leading any organization in any leadership position, or you know that you just need to break through, that there's got to be an end to what's happening, then this program is for you. So I want to encourage you to invest in you today. Invest in this. It's time to break through. It's time to go for this another level. And it's very fascinating to me that I've been watching other prophets come out with breakthrough programs this month as well. So, that's very key. There is an investment to this, and there's an investment of $4.95. And I want to tell you why. Because, to be honest, I'm looking for the ones who are serious about the breakthrough. For some of you, that's more than what you've ever paid for a program like this. For others, this is a drop in the hat. You do that, but it's a commitment. It's a commitment, because I found that unless people put skin in the game, they really are not committed to doing the work for doing that. Booking in is so easy. If you go to businessblessings.com.au, you'll see on our homepage there's a breakdown of all the different webinars, the dates when everything is, and how to register there. So it's there. Well, thank you so much. I am so, I hope I've been able to convey to you the excitement in my spirit about this, and the excitement that I'm seeing starting to happen already in this month of April. Is, I don't, one of the key things with this is I don't like to teach that which I haven't gone through myself, because, and when I'm seeing this as a breakthrough and seeing this happen in my own clients and seeing them take to a whole new level, and I know all my clients will be coming together and being a part of this program as well, because I know it's about taking each one to a whole new level. So as we close, I want to encourage you, go book in today. Go to businessblessings.com.au, follow the prompts there. You'll see how to book in. It's very clear to do that. Any questions, email us at info@businessblessings.com.au, info@businessblessings.com.au. We'll be able to answer your questions. The recordings and things will be available to you for those who come in. I'm not releasing them for others generally, because I know that there's certain ones out there that God is saying to you now, breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough. God's been talking to you a lot about breakthrough, but it's now time. It's now time. Ruth went from a destitute situation, but she had to do something. She had to position herself. And I want to encourage you, this program is about positioning yourself to take you to this whole new level of breakthrough. Well, there you go. Bless you. Father God, I bless each one. I call each one spiritual attention and say, Father, speak to them. Speak to their heart this day, so they hear and know and understand what you have for them. In Jesus' name. We'll bless you, and I look forward to working with you during this month of breakthrough.